everybody, Chari here today, and I'm going to be showing you how to make this fun Valentine treat. So I found this test tube type container at my local craft store, and I thought that would be great to go with the Science of Love set to make this tag, to make this Valentine treat. So I'm going to be using the two little beakers from this set, and I'm going to stamp those out with the new black Licorice Lawn Fundamentals dye ink. This ink is going to work great because I'm going to color my images with colored pencils and blend it with Gamsol, and this dye ink works perfect with this coloring medium. It's not going to smear at all. So I'm going to actually stamp them out twice here, and then you'll see I'm going to stamp the little smiley face that comes with the set on my beakers as well. And I've already picked out some colors that I like here, and I'm just going to speed this up. So I'm coloring in with the blue, the light blue here, and then each of my beakers, I'm going to do two sets, and that way you can see what one set looks like blended and what one set looks like unblended. So I'm doing the light blue just for the tops of the beakers, and then I'm going to make one of the contents of one of the beakers pink. So I'm just kind of doing a light layer of pink, and then I'm going back and doing a heavier layer on the bottom. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the purple in the other beaker. Just some darker along the bottom. And then I'm going to add some dark teal to the other one here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and color the ones on top in the exact same way. So now that I've got all my pencil laid down, I'm going to be using Gamsol here and these paper blending stumps to blend my colors together. I actually have quite a few of these stumps, and I just keep them one for each kind of color family. I've got like a pink one, a purple one, a blue one, and that way I don't have to use the sandpaper to clean my edge off all the time. So I've got the one that I already have blue on, and I got the tip of it moist from the top of the bottle there. And then I'm just going in and blending all the colors together. And on the purple and the pink one here, you're going to see, so I'm blending the bottom where it's a little darker first, and then I'm kind of pulling it up towards where it was a little bit lighter. But I didn't feel like there was quite enough shading on the bottom, so I'm actually going to go back in with my purple pencil and put a little more of that pencil along the bottom, and then go back in and blend it again. And you'll see I'm going to do the exact same thing on the pink one actually. So I'm blending the pink, and actually this one I'm blending at the top and working my way down. It doesn't really matter, you can do it however you want, but since I ended up adding more pencil to the bottom of the purple, I figured I was going to do the same here, and so I didn't feel like I needed to start at the darker portion. So I've added a little more, and I'm just blending that in. And now you can see the difference between the unblended and the blended images. So now I'm going to do the little, I guess it's not smoke, steam with the little hearts, and I'm stamping that out in the Wild Rose ink. Now I stamped it out twice. I'm really only going to use one. I'm prone to stamping things out twice, and then if I mess one up, I have another one to cut out. And then I'm going to use the dies that match the set to cut out all my little images. So I'm using Post-it tape to hold the dies in place. Once I get them all lined up, I'm going to run those through my die cut machine, and all these small little pieces that would have taken me a while to cut out will be easily cut out perfectly. Even the little steamy hearts there. So now I'm using the birthday tag set to create my tag. I just picked this set because I like the designs of the two tags in this set. I could have used the thank you tags or the holiday gift tags as well. And I have some Valentine's paper from Doodlebug here. I thought that there's some really fun patterns in this pad, and I picked out one with the grid and the little hearts that I thought kind of looked great with the chemistry theme here. It's like grid paper with little hearts in it. And I'm actually going to stamp out the large tag on this pattern paper. And I'm going to be using the Cranberry dye ink, the Lawn Fawn. This is a really great dark pinky red color, and instead of using black, it's just going to tie in with the colors on this tag. And I'm stamping in the corner of my pattern paper just to conserve my pattern paper. I do this a lot. And now I can take the tag it dies and line it up and cut that big tag out of the pattern paper. So now that I've got my large piece cut out, I'm just going to kind of place my little images here. Just kind of figure out where I want them. But I'm not going to adhere them down just yet, and I'll set that aside. So now I'm going to do the part of the tag that's going to layer on top of this, and that's where my sentiment's going to go. So this is just a piece of dark pink cardstock here. And I'm using that same cranberry ink, and I'm going to use the other tag, the little fishtail in tag there. And I'm going to stamp that out on the pink cardstock. And I'll use my die again to cut that little tag out. And the reason why I'm cutting it out before I'm stamping my sentiment is so I know where the little hole is. So I'm going to do the sentiment, "We have great chemistry." And these sentiments are great. They're on square bases, so you could line them up on a block together. But I really kind of want them a little bit closer than the bases of the stamps allow on this tag, just because the spacing, it puts it a little too close to the edge. So I'm going to stamp them separately. And I'm going to stamp them in the black licorice ink again. This ink is awesome. It is so black. It's the blackest black ink that I think I have. And it keeps a really crisp image too, even on super absorbent cardstock like this one. So there's the other part of my sentiment right there, and now they're spaced a little closer than I could have gotten with the other one. So I'm going to stamp just the bottom of that little fishtail in the cranberry ink again on a scrap piece of pink cardstock that I have here. Could have also done this out of the same pink pattern paper that's on the back. I'm only going to cut out that little piece at the bottom, and I'm going to layer it on top of the tag here. Now it's time to put my pieces on, and I'm using some thin foam adhesive here because I don't want them to pop up off the tag too much. I like this foam adhesive because you can add some dimension, but you don't have to add as much dimension as a regular foam square would. So I'm just going to put some of these thin foam squares on the back of all my pieces here, and I'm using my tweezers to help me place them so my fingers aren't in the way. And for the little test tube, I'm just going to cut one of those squares in half so that they're half the width. The tweezers work really great for little pieces like that. So now I'm going to layer that sentiment part of the tag on top. I'm just going to put a little liquid glue on the tag that goes in the back, and then I'm going to layer that on top. Now I'm going to get some stickles here. So I've got some neon flamingo stickles. I think that this is a really nice pink that matches. I'm just going to put some on the bottom of that fishtail tag. And I've had questions about this container my stickles are in. It's called a Dazzle Caddy, and it holds 10 Stickles bottles upside down. I got them for Christmas. I really think they're awesome. And I'm adding a little stickles to the hearts, and then I took the red and I'm adding it to a heart that I stamped on the tag too. Now I'm going to use some sweetheart twine, and I've got my test tube filled with some cinnamon candies here. And I'm just going to wrap it around a couple times. And you could tie a bow here, but what I'm going to do, I was going to tie it in a knot, and then I decided, no, wait, I don't want to do just yet. So I'm going to take both ends and I'm going to thread it through the hole on my tag. And actually, I let this sit for a while and let the stickles dry, just so you don't think I did this immediately. Let the stickles dry, otherwise you might knock them and make a big mess. And then I'm going to tie it in a bow. This will kind of hold it in place a lot better than if you just thread the tag through and then tie a bow if you only thread it through on one side, I think, when you thread both ends through. And then the bow sits right on top. And then I'm actually going to take the glue dot and put it behind that knot of the bow, and that will kind of hold my tag in place, because this test tube, you know, it's cylindrical, so there's not anything to hold it in place. And there's the little Valentine treat. I think it's super cute. Here's a closer image. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.